We've got 35 inches of tire in front of us, and it's all badass. And I've been wanting to drive this truck for a long time. We have the new 2024 Chevy Colorado Bison. That's right, we have the Bison in-house. We're gonna take this thing off-roading, but first let's walk around this real quick. We've got the new Bison here, as you can see, and this thing, the keynote from this, for one, it's got AEV all over it, but we're getting 35-inch tires in this thing, which is, all the other brands need to listen up. Chevrolet gave us what we wanted, though it does have a 4-cylinder, which we're gonna put to the test here in a few minutes. Overall, first off, Kelly, this color of this thing, where are you at with this?
I actually really like this color. It says, hello, look at me,
right.
But it also says, the vehicle itself says, let's go play.
That's right. And as you can see, big, powerful AEV steel bumper up through here, which is part of the package that you get. Now, I've often said the GM Twins are probably my favorite front end design, especially. I think that it's aggressive. And I think once you walk around this thing and you see these tires with it, the kind of lifted stance that it has, I think it's ready to go for off-road. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's definitely got the clearance that you're gonna need to play right out of the factory.
Yes, yes, and you got the big fenders. Now, something the Ranger Raptor has, obviously it's got big metal fenders. They've compensated just a little bit with some plastic fenders, which would be nice because if you bash these things up, which we're kind of been known to do in time to time,
yes,
that you might be able to replace this a little easier than have to worry about complete, you know, steel fenders. But part of the package is you're going to get the rock sliders. So these are actually nice rock sliders, though I would prefer something that would kick out a little bit better, but I'm sure for crash ratings and stuff, this is how they have to do it. But I love the blacked out look to this thing. All the end caps, Kelly, with this blue, pretty epic.
Yeah, it really just makes it stand out. It gives you that extra little oomph in this. It gives you those nice finishes for the daily driving, but then it also gives you the ruggedness for the off-road.
Right, and certain colors work well with the black outlines like that, and that looks great. Part of the thing, though, being a Bison, you do expect this thing to be a powerhouse off-road, which we're gonna do in just a second. But as we walk around the back of this thing, one of the cool features about it, and one of the head scratchers at the same time, is where they put the spare tire in this. Now, being a 35-inch tire, they're not going to shove it up under the, under the truck. That's just it's just too much. So if you expect to use this as a full truck, I don't know what to think about that one. Kelly, truck life, and we've lost some kind of bed there. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, truck life, I get it. I do appreciate that it's a little offset and it's not straight in the center, because at least you can have some full usage of the bed of the truck. However, if you're using this for all the truck things, it's definitely going to hinder you. But I will say, having had off-road vehicles with increased size of tires, I understand that you can't stow it in the normal places. So this is a great compromise with the offset. Yes,
of course you got some bracketing there, and it looks on the ground, they got some bracketing. Overall, it's a truck, you're gonna get the power in the outside here. You're getting GMs, we've always raved about this. We love this feature.
This is one of my favorite features on the GM boys. They know how to use the extra space.
You get your toe straps wet or whatever, perfect for off-roading. But it's a tailgate and it's very light, very easy to put up. The color, once again, I just gonna keep raving about this thing, and it says ZR2 Bison. They didn't go ridiculous with this either. They could have went super crazy and been like Scream. I like the Raptor package with the graphics, but I think this truck fits it better with the way they've done it. Now you're getting some recovery points on the back of this thing. Pretty nice from the factory, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nice built in that you have to, and you don't have to immediately add those modifications to the vehicle itself.
Yes, and oh look, the way they're beveled, it looks like they actually thought about, hey, we might have soft shackles, though it does still feel a little bit like you could cut a soft shackle underneath this truck. Once again, you can see where the spare tire was supposed to be, but heavy duty suspension. GM's got their suspension tuned there, their Multimatic system, the DSSV system, and I'm ready to put this thing to the test. But finally, wheels on this. The AEV wheels, I like these quite a bit, Kelly. They look like they're probably beadlock capable.
They are, in fact.
Where are you at with these?
Yes, they are beadlock capable. They're 17-inch tires.
Nice.
And I like them. I actually really like them. I'm typically a chrome girl, but I like the blackout on this. No,
this is the only problem I'm having. I'm going to take this thing out to Windrock Park or somewhere, and I'm going to scratch those probably up. At the end of the day, you're going to tear things up when you're off-roading. Part of it, there is actually one chrome piece, which is kind of strange, but we get in the back of this thing, we got enough room for our backpacks. I always say go with the mud mats that the brands give you now. I used to wouldn't have ever said that, but these are the way they're molded in so well, and I think on an off-road truck, that's definitely what you want. Now, part of the, you know, being flashy, you're going to get, Jim always has the nice seats, the little race style of the yellow stitching that they've done there. That looks really cool. What do we get here, Kelly? Do we get anything cool there? We get cup holders.
2 cup holders.
Ford could take some lessons about that. We do get the little ET headstock there, and I do like the fact that, of course, your view is obstructed somewhat, but if you by yourself and you want that little bit extra view, you can pump those up and you're good to go. One thing they seem to listen that everybody else has forgotten about is the rear passengers with some AC vents. You're going to get some Apple or some charging there, some C and A there, old school, which I have a feeling you're going to see A just start to disappear. But we get a power inverter in the back down there. You're actually getting mat pockets. Getting a sunroof, which that's something the Raptor does not get. And Kelly, let's go up to the front of this. All right, as we open the door, I like the circle vents. They're definitely racy, kind of gives you that Camaro vibes just a little bit, and something that they've kind of tried to keep across the board. One thing you won't notice, Kelly, in here is there are no light switches. It's all in the infotainment center, which we were talking last night about, which is still hilarious to me. But interior, where are you at with this interior?
I feel like we could step it up just a little bit.
Really?
I don't know why, but I just feel like maybe it's the color scheme, maybe it all together. There's just something that's just a smidge off for me that makes me feel like this is a luxurious off-road vehicle.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't like the light gray for this particular color of vehicle. I'm sure it works well in whites and stuff, but I would like to have more of a blacked out seat in this. But you do get a lot of cool stitching. If you're buying the AEV product, you better get some branding with that. Overall, though, they didn't change a ton to this. Steering wheel, I do like the steering wheel. It's very racy. One problem I have had as I get into this is, and we've talked about this in the past with other GM products, is, and you can kind of see it there, there's a little bit of scratching where people were putting it in four-wheel drive mode. And this piano finish is just kind of, I just feel like it's not going to hold up well. And the shifter, I feel when I'm naturally resting my arm there, I feel like I should be naturally resting my hand there. But that's,
like they should be swapped
yes.
around.
And that's just me being nitpicky about this. We've seen this before. We've seen all the little racing styling they've done there. And I think this is a pretty nice truck. So you ready to take this thing off-road?
I am, but I do want to call out one little thing in this one. The one thing I would like to see in this particular vehicle is I would like to see the carpet gone.
Yes.
I would like to see vinyl floors, something.
Yes,
maybe not go to the extreme of a washout floor, but this is going to, regardless of how many mats you have in there, they're going to get muddy at some point if you're taking this vehicle and using it.
Yes.
That's the only gripe I have on this one, but otherwise, I'm ready to take this off-road and see what we've got.
The big question with this truck is the 4-cylinder, 35-inch tires, and how will it off-road? So let's find out how this thing will off-road and go take on their small course they got.
Let's do it.
Driving the Bison. We did time in the big boy. Remember that? We did time in the ZR2 Bison, and that was quite fun.
The Silverado.
The Silverado Bison. All right, so off-roading, Kelly. We got a lot of rain here last night.
We did.
This should be.
You want to go left?
This should be somewhat. If we had, if Chevrolet had the
trail turn.
The trail turn assist, this might be a little bit easier.
I was totally thinking that as I was noticing we were taking a tight left turn.
One thing, obviously, the bigger tires that you get in a truck like this, the more clearance you have, the more capability you have. But that doesn't mean you can't. The smaller version of this thing, you couldn't be happy and plenty in that with the 33s. But I do think this is a pretty technical little turn here. Nice. I do think that if you want the most capability, obviously this is the truck for you. My only concern has ever been the 4-cylinder engine, and so far it seems peppy enough to me that I'm not too worried about it. We're doing it's muddy. This is muddy. Definitely muddy. Which I think later this afternoon on this course is going to be a mess. But
this should be tight with a little slippery.
Little rocks and stuff here, not too bad. But I have to say I really like this truck, and I think the people, Toyota Tacoma has been the king forever, which we're going to drive a Toyota Tacoma today as well. But they've been king of basically off-roading in a mid-size truck forever, and I think brands like Chevrolet have they've really brought it. I think they realized, hey, we can't play around anymore. We can't worry about just basically a contractor's truck. We got to give the enthusiasts something they're going to want to drive in.
Yeah, because you don't want to be driving for work in a vehicle and then going home and driving the same types of roads and things always. Like, granted, if you're living in your vehicle as a contractor or somebody who works out of their vehicle, I'll be honest, the last thing I want to do when I get home is drive it the exact same way I did during my day job. Right. So I want something that I can go out and play in, because it gives me that different experience. Yeah.
We do have, you can't see it on the screen right now, but we do have, they've got all the cameras are on, which is very nice. I love that feature in any off-road vehicle. Mm-hmm. Especially for you, if you ever, like, sometimes we're off-roading and you get where the spotter's not near you, at least you feel maybe a little more comfortable than you would having to get out of the vehicle, check your surroundings.
For sure. Or sometimes I don't always trust that the spotter is putting me where I need to sometimes. Just because sometimes you go out with people that you've not wheeled with before. Right. So to give you that extra comfort to know that you're doing the right thing is really great. Right.
I'm gonna let Kelly drive.
Oh, that slide into one.
I know, I put Kelly in the worst spot.
He just wanted to test my stress levels today.
That's right. But speaking of stress levels, though, you get cooled seats in this thing, something others are not doing. So you're going to get heated and cooled seats in this, Kelly, so that should make you very happy.
It does make me very happy, and it's funny you say that because I did notice it, but we haven't had a conversation about it yet.
Right.
Straighten them out. Just there you go.
So now we're in the wide open, and this gives you a little bit more chance to kind of get a feel for, you know, the engine. What do you think so far?
Yeah, so I mean, you definitely feel a little bit of like it wanting to do its thing, but you definitely feel like it's not struggling, but you hear it.
Camera's worked out great.
Perfect. Good? That's the one I've seen. Oh.
Comfort of this thing, Kelly, the seats feel pretty good.
Yeah.
One thing I've always said about GM products with their little trucks, so in the previous Colorado, they feel more car-like inside than maybe truck-like. How are you with that?
For sure. Yeah, no, and I feel like there's definitely that more comfort because trucks can easily go that not very comfortable, we're just functional route, and I think there's definitely a nice little balance on this one between feeling functional and being comfortable, because you still get power seats on this one.
Yeah, and you get a lot of power features to this thing. Heated and cool seats once again, which is very nice, especially if you're in the California area where we just got back from doing some desert running. I think that's a big plus. I think that's a miss on another brand that didn't do that. But overall, I think the interior of this thing looks great. Just a couple little nitpick things for me. You know, you're getting a sliding glass in the back. You're getting a sunroof, something other brands are not doing at the moment. And you're getting a big infotainment system in this, and which I'm not going to go into big detail about because it's just everybody does it now. So it's not new. You know, there's no new ground to be covered right there. If I had to use this as a daily and a weekend warrior, I think this would be a nice, comfortable ride.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. This would get a thumbs up for me on this one for sure.
Scale of 1 to 10 on comfort, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Where would you be?
I would say on a comfort for me, this is going to be 8.5. Okay. Probably for me as well.
Styling is a 9.5 definitely, because I think this, and I think the GMC is just a little better styling, but ultimately I think home run on as far as styling, just looks. Obviously, till we get to drive it more, we wouldn't know, about how does it hold up. But GM's taking some dings, but all the big three get, I think, unnecessary dings sometimes for quality. But overall, home run. If I had to choose right now between this and a TRD Pro, this is probably the top of my list. So in the comments below, let us know what you think about this. Are you interested in more off-road content with the ZR2? Because if so, you guys know we tend to buy vehicles you guys are interested in. So we may need to pick one of these up for the channel. So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
with this badass ZR2 Bison, Colorado we get to drive. All thanks to your support. It's been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
And I'm Kelly Boyd.
And we're out. Peace.
See ya.